My parents left me with relatives at 14 for Bali. Now they're asking me for help because they're jobless and desperate. So I gave them what they deserved. It started when I was just 14. My name's Liam. I had what you'd call a pretty average life. My parents, Marcus and Elaine, were big into yoga, meditation, and chasing the authentic self. We lived in a quiet suburb, nothing fancy. I went to school, hung out with my cousins, and life just... But then, one day, everything started to shift. Subtle at first. Mom began following these travel influencers on Instagram. Dad started taking online workshops about spiritual realignment and energy detox. At dinner, they talk about how the Western world is too fast, how they needed to disconnect to reconnect. I didn't pay much attention, until I should have. They started selling things. The dining set disappeared. The TV went next. Then Dad sold the car. They told me they were simplifying. I asked, why? My mom just smiled and said, for the universe to give you what you need, you must first let go of what you think you want. Whatever that meant. Then one night, after school, I came home and found a massive map of Southeast Asia pinned to the wall. Red circles were drawn over Bali, Thailand, and Sri Lanka. That's when I knew. This wasn't just a phase. A week later, they dropped the bomb. We were moving to Bali, not just a vacation, no return ticket. I stared at them. What about school? My friends? Grandma? They said I'd stay behind, live with Aunt Jenna and Uncle Greg. Liam, my dad said, you need structure. We need freedom. You'll understand when you're older. That's the last time I felt like a son to them. They packed up, hugged me quickly, kissed me on the forehead. Then they were gone. The taxi pulled away while I stood in the driveway with a backpack and a confused heart. They left me. For paradise. Life with Aunt Jenna and Uncle Greg wasn't bad, but it wasn't home. They were strict. Didn't like noise. I kept to myself. My cousins, Emma and Shane, were kind, but I always felt like an outsider. The worst part? Seeing my parents on social media. Photos of them smiling on beaches, feeding monkeys, dancing under full moons. Not once did they mention me, not even a tag. Months passed, then years. I stopped calling them, stopped waiting for birthday messages. Instead, I focused. I studied hard, got a scholarship to a tech college. I worked nights at a cafe, saved every penny. I had one goal, succeed without them. By 22, I had a degree, a job in cybersecurity, and an apartment. By 24, I launched a startup. It took off. I built a life they weren't a part of. Until one day, they called. I didn't recognize the number, but I answered. It was Mom. Her voice cracked like wind through old glass. Liam, it's us. We're back. We need to see you. Apparently, things in Bali had gone south. Literally. Tourism dried up, money ran out, and their last investment, a spiritual retreat center, was seized. They were broke. I stayed quiet. Mom begged. Just dinner, please, we're in town. Out of curiosity, or maybe a need for closure, I agreed. We met at a diner near my office. They looked older, tired. Not the glowing beach people I remembered. They tried to act normal. You look good, Liam. So mature. I just sipped my coffee. Then came the ask. We're struggling, Dad said. Could you help? Just for a few months, till we're on our feet. I stared at them. The same people who left me without a second thought. Now they wanted my help. They wanted my money. They wanted back in. I told them no. Not angrily. Just firmly. You taught me to let go of what I think I want. I wanted parents. But I let that go. And now, the universe gave me what I needed. Distance. They sat in silence. I stood up, paid the bill, and left. People say I'm bitter, that I should forgive, that they were just lost, chasing peace. But I was just a kid. They left me to find themselves. Now they're lost again. And I'm not their compass. So to the parents who forgot how to be parents, and to anyone chasing something they can't define, remember this. Some things you leave behind. Never wait for you to come back. and some sons don't either.